Welcome back if you're watching. If you've been following along in order, I figured out that I wasn't going to be able to sell enough cotton last January to make the buy. So I went ahead and ground through another year, and we're back into next January. I think this is year 10. I'll check that. Um, when I last left you, I was having trouble getting enough animal husbandry so I could go ahead and start breeding my uh, hogs and chickens. So yeah, I'll cover that in this episode or another episode. Interesting. Looks like you can only buy 4 animal husbandries on this map, which I'm fine with. Now I know. As you can see, we've had quite a bit of clothing production going down. I got 16 on this little trailer, 16 pallets. Um, we got a lot still sitting at the spinneries. Last harvest on the last episode, I had made, I believe, 24 bales of cotton. I just finished a harvest before I started recording. Last grinding harvest. I'm going to record everything from now on because it's going to be more interesting. I'm not going to be just growing cotton. But my last cotton harvest will be, I got 28 cotton bales. Not quite sure how many bales of clothes that's going to equal. We'll see. My estimate's about 150 bales, which that would be around 1.3 or so million. Why is that important? The land that I need to buy costs 2.4 million. So the reason I have to buy that property is several things. There's a mine on it, and that mine allows me to mine on Mars. Also allows me to buy the area where I'm going to plant trees. I'm able to buy that. I'm going to have to cut down that forest over there. I'm going to turn it into a large field because I'm going to need the production in order to make this challenge. The other thing is, if I want to store things in the challenge area where it keeps up with the amounts, I don't own that property, so I can't store anything there. I was able to store at the silo next to the sleep station. However, I've gotten it to where it's basically full. And as you'll see whenever I go back down around that area, I've got a big pile of straw. I had a big pile of hay where I just ran out of room in the silo. Some other things that are getting mixed results. I'll run through this as well. I'm making my own lime from the stones that we pick up. I can't hardly lime everything from the lime that I make. I'll probably buy some lime this year and use that with the lime I purchased to make sure I get one real good lime coating on everything. Because next year, I'm not going to grow as much cotton. Because I'm going to have the other piece of property bought and I'll be able to do other things, hopefully. Slight chance I might have to grind one more year of cotton, but I'll record it. Everybody can see me go. All right, first 16 bales was 120K plus my environmental score. I don't count on the environmental score. If you were doing this as real farming, you wouldn't count on the environmental score either. Farmers are more of the, at least all of them I know. You have the government involved a little bit, but this is a European based companies. They have the government involved in their farming all over the place. Where's my truck? Ah, still got water. Still got the water tank home. So that's why we generally don't. Getting government help is nice when you need it, but you don't count on it on whether or not you're going to make money on your property. Because, hey, governments changing their focus. Some governments will be more focused on helping farmers. Others won't be. And that's not something that you can always count on. So we try not to count on things. As most people know, I make the cutoff on my production at around noon in January. So, see, it's 9/16. We'll go ahead and get this next bout sold. That's 82 in this truck. So that'll give me a total of 96. You'll be able to see this. As you can see, all these fields we're planting in cotton. I usually let the weeds grow until it's time to plant the cotton rather than go ahead and field prep. Because I already run the plow through this and that'll take care of the weeds for another growing season. Some of the property as we do it, different crops, we may not plow every year, or we might, I don't know. Depends, I'll decide that. I went a little overboard on fertilizer purchasing last time. As you can see, I've got some left. Looks like I got 8. Probably got about 20 pallets of cotton left. 20 pallets of fertilizer. I learned my lesson during some of the unrecording while I was grinding to get to where I can purchase the land and get to where I can produce this much. I didn't buy enough fertilizer one year and was short on seeds one year. So I learned my lesson to buy extra. As you know, this particular modded truck won't unload into that sell point. So I usually unload over here. And then just with the 16, I'll reload. I do have a mod that'll let me unload this truck by just pulling over it and not having to do this extra step. I don't own the land up here, so I can't put in that sell anything point. And also, I'm going to put a warehouse up here so that I'll have a little bit of transportation cost, but there's a pallet and storage warehouse that allows all these pallets clothes or whatever you're selling, let you store them there, and then I can just drive up with the what in the world? Ain't that weird? Huh. Thought the pickup point was in the back. Maybe it's not. No. No way to change it. I am on a PC, but I play with a game. I like to play with a game controller. Mainly because a lot of times I do this when I'm just hanging around on the couch, or I'm after work when I'm on the road, and I don't want. Sometimes I just don't want to fool with the keyboard. I do use some of the keyboard shortcuts. You'll see that occasionally. I am thinking of doing a challenge in 25 once I finish this one. Heard the Silver Run map was coming out. So what I'm thinking about doing there is doing a similar challenge series. I don't know how many years, but basically do everything on the map. I don't know my specifics yet of how I want to do it, but I'll come up with something, or I'll take suggestions. If I'm not already started it by the time you see this, you want to put a suggestion in the discussion box, please feel free in the comments. This just happens to be the way I like to play Farming Simulator. There are hundreds of thousands. Everybody's different. Just like farming, everybody farms a little bit different. This game is primarily set up for a European style of farming. One of my big hangups with it is they have you increase your environmental score by spraying herbicide on your farm. I don't do herbicide on this thing because I just don't. I can do this. I can have the same result as far as controlling weeds by plowing. Their logic is that by extra plowing or extra mechanical field work, you contribute is harder on the environment than spraying pesticides and herbicides on your crops. I disagree, but I'm no scientist, so whatever. Hopefully, somebody may get to them and where you can change that. There may be a mod where you can change it already. I have read about it in Giants forums where people were discussing that. Actually, I had a thought about maybe trying to do one of these as all environmentally friendly or organic. I might try to do that at some point. One of the things when I was starting this map was if you're terraforming to get the atmosphere, then it doesn't make sense to run diesel and gas engines. Well, I did a little research. And found that there are some mods, but me being able to do everything I need to do, much like real life, you can't buy electric farm equipment that has enough horsepower to let you do a lot of the things that you need to do when you're farming. Farming on this scale in real life would require a lot of larger equipment, even probably some larger than what I'm driving around now. And if you don't have the power to pull that equipment and use it, it's pretty much useless. Sure, I can buy 48 tractors and use all the little implements, but that would make a challenge series like this nearly impossible from a time wise. It already takes, and I'm getting more efficient, but it already takes me roughly between 8 and 10 hours of actual time to do a cotton harvest, and then another 8 or 10 hours to get it all planted. And this is with me running my equipment using quartz plate. I couldn't imagine having to do it. What in the world? I couldn't imagine having to do it all manually driving with small equipment. I like to drive sometimes, but I also like to, this one of my famous lines is, this is Farm Simulator and not Forklift Simulator. That being said, some people say it's a driving simulator, which I guess it could be. There are a lot of things in this game that aren't like real farming, but there are a lot of things in this game that are. And if you wanted to play this game as close to real life as you wanted, as you could, I guess you could do all that cotton harvest. It would take you about a week, which I guess about a week is what it would take in real life for that many acres and that volume. To give you an idea, each bale is 20,000 liters. So I've got about 500,000 liters of raw cotton from that last harvest. Almost 600,000. I got to go back and pick up the rest of the clothes, and that's pretty good to start with. We're up around 800,000. Once we get everything sold, I will check out and see how many we're up to. What was that? 98 pallets of clothes. We'll see how many I can get picked up over here on this next one. We're also having to produce our own water and our own diesel fuel. Diesel fuel is getting more important because I need more water because of the number of animals I have. The way it works is you produce biodiesel with canola, sunflowers, and soybeans. Then you have to convert that diesel into methane because you need methane to extract water from the Martian stones. And I had been using more stones to make lime, but because I need diesel fuel and stones to make water, I may need to alter my mix a little bit. I got to make sure I keep making enough diesel fuel, and so because I don't want to run out of water. The reason I had to go ahead and start with the let's see how much we got here. Well, let's turn it on and get to noon. The reason that I had to start with animals early is one of the constraints that I made for this project is only buying 2 of each species. And as you can see, I'm up to probably about 35 sheep, probably 25 or so of the cattle, and there wasn't no way to do all that production. I mean, you got to get them to reproduce enough to make the deadline. And I'll have to start culling some too because I've got some that are kind of old. Ooh, water looks pretty good. Pigs coming into play. There's my sheep. I've already culled some sheep back to their reproduction. 1 year of chickens got me to, what was that, 2, that gets me to 8. So the chickens will start multiplying really quickly. And we'll use the eggs in something a little later on. I'm not going to ship eggs directly back to Earth. Well, I might. I don't know. All right, let's see. In my productions, I have that. This first spinnery is the one that's on the map. You can't make clothes from it, but you can make cotton and fabric. So I usually it'll hold about 2 bales for 12 months. Is how much production you can get out of it. So it's been a little help. There's the power plant that shows you. I've been burning straw to make electric charge. I'm a little worried about carbon monoxide poisoning. Well, it won't be poisoning. It just means that we won't be able to make any more fuel unless I do something with a carbon monoxide. A couple of things you can do with that. It looks like it might hold about 10,000 liters. I'm going to gamble another year because when you buy the property, it has 4 carbon monoxide scrubbers on it. If it doesn't, at the end of next year, if something and I can't get the thing purchased, whatever, I'll need to buy a tanker to store some of that. Because the only way to get rid of carbon monoxide is either A, store it in a tanker, or I don't even think you can sell it, or B, get it in the scrubbers. Here's another one of my spinneries. It's got a few minutes to get another pallet. Here's a fuel refinery depot. You see, overdrive takes electricity, makes diesel fuel. Diesel to methane, to make methane, and then use the methane to extract water from the stones. It takes me roughly 4,000 liters of diesel to go through a year. So I'm going to need a good soybean crop. But I'll be okay till that shows. I'm not going to do anything else. I got enough water to get that far, I think. If I don't, then I'll turn it on and make diesel fuel, and we'll just get by the best we can. Here's another spinnery, other 2 spinneries. Wow, that one's got some clothes still in it. All right, so no clothes. Ah, huh. That one's made more than the rest. Interesting. I'll go over here and pick up my ships, pick up my pallets on the ground, and I'll check, make sure no more popped out. So let's see what we got. It's gonna be more than I thought. I haven't added these up. I did make 28 raw cotton bales. Um, which is good. 26 did not run us the whole year. My calculations was 26 would run the whole year, but I guess I misfigured. Wow. Huh. How about that? 82? No way. Oh my word. There's still one there. Well, we got 82 and 82 is 164 and 16. That'll be 174, 100, wow, 176 pallets of cotton. That's pretty good. If I can make that many next sale next January, then I'll be able to buy the other land, and that's when things will really take off on this thing. Because there's going to be so many things to there'll be so many things to do every day that whoop, nope, 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 nope. Yeah, they decrease the gravity on here, and I forget about it sometimes. Plus, these little trucks will go like 80. I hope that eventually, I know that they probably won't because we do have a lot of youngsters that play this game, but eventually, I'd like to see Giants say, yeah, if you wreck your car that way, it's totaled. But now you get no damage. Same thing, they won't ever have a animal die on them. So they don't have a. There's a mod for a meat packing plant, but I doubt Giants will ever endorse one. All right. All right, let's see how much money 100 and what did I say? 164, 174. Wait, 16 and 164 to be 174 is 64. Wow, let's see how much 180 pallets of cotton weighs. Interesting. I don't know why. The way these things pick up sometimes is bizarre. 180 bales of cotton. How about that? And I know I could get a better price. But as you know, I only do transactions like this in January because that's when the rocket gets there. I guess if I wanted to be a little more real worldy, I'd do it every other January. But that would get really rough. If they come out with one of these on 25, that's what I'll do. I'll do this challenge again, and I'll only buy and sell every 2 years to simulate how long it takes to get a rocket from Earth to Mars. Which it doesn't take 2 years, but that's your best launch window. That's when Mars is the closest to Earth. That's why they choose it. Do it that way. Wow, that put us over 1 million. Too bad my loan's maxed out. Oh, and the loan increased to 700 and something thousand, which I maxed it out already. So I'll pay it down a little bit. Save some interest. It is cheaper if you borrow the money for equipment, it is cheaper to borrow the money than it is to lease the stuff. So, but I guess you could make money by leasing it off. I don't know. There are a few items that we'll need to buy. I spent probably 150,000 on vehicle repairs anyway, even with the damaged system the way it is. That's just how much it costs. I know I could come out a little cheaper by trading in, buying new equipment. Thing is, I don't want to do that until I'm getting ready to use it. And since the object right now is to buy that other piece of land, I need every dollar. Once I get that other piece of land bought, I may upgrade on all the equipment. I don't know. I've got to upgrade on my harvesters. Not my. I got 2 cotton harvesters now, but I need to upgrade my regular crop harvester. So I may upgrade that here in a few minutes. We'll see how things look. Man, that's gonna be close. Crap. Usually it does great. Just don't want to get that last one. What the hell's wrong with it? Is it turned over? I need to leave it $8 grand laying on the ground. I'll figure out a way. Oh, pardon my French. Figure out a way to get it over there. Why? It's turned over. Yeah, it won't load if they're on their side. Oop. There it is. All right, let's see what we got. Gonna be a little close. Yeah, it's your 10. Yeah, that bale's produced number ain't right. That's cotton bales. It doesn't track pallet bales anywhere that I know of. Uh, a couple ways to work this. Don't buy no equipment. Don't upgrade anything. Just buy what I need and then go from there. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Some curtain things I usually do look at is see what's on sale. Nothing that I need. Yeah, then. I'm leaning toward 5 more sections of this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seeds. Kind of close on seeds last time. I'm gonna go ahead and buy 4 more of those, even though I'm making some. One, two, three, 4, I'm gonna buy one more just to be sure. And then I said I need to buy a little lime. 16,000 pounds, 16,000 liters. 1, 2, about 3 just please. All right. There's 1.352 left. I'm gonna pay the loan off, and we'll have that we can use. And I don't know how much that loan is a month. Ooh, with that amount, it's 2,500. So theoretically, we could get another 25 or 30K out of this. Now let's move on down a little bit. As you can see, we got extra there. Whoop. We have so much cotton in our harvest that not all of it will fit. We have 6 bales left to be put into the spinners. I had something here, but after I got off last week, decided it would be easier just to go ahead and buy the pig feed to keep these guys going. I'll show you the math behind that in a minute. It's a big straw pile. I had a hay pile there at one point. This is where I make diesel fuel and water and all that kind of thing. This is my stone operation. And things are kind of torn apart a little bit. Also, seed operation. Yeah. Probably, I'm not sure how much seeds. We'll probably go ahead with the stones and put quite a bit in here. So anyway, that's about all I got this time. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be commentating, but I'll go ahead and record. Probably put them into time-lapse videos of all the work for this year. Honestly, there'll probably be enough for 3 of them, or maybe less. I don't know. We'll see. So I may put in one that's nothing but time-lapse of the cotton. Don't know yet. I'll figure that out. Any suggestions, y'all put them in the box and let me know. And once again, we'll update things, and I'll come back with some hopefully more witty thoughts. And they tell me to say this, don't forget to